Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maor and I'm a breatharian level 3 guide. So I asked ChatGPT, what are the top qualities of a spiritual person? This is what it gave me in order: integrity, compassionate, truthful, self-aware, present, humble, accountable, non-attached, grateful, in service, wise, forgiving, curious, and patient. Now, whether you consider yourself an awakened individual or not, I'm going to bring up questions that will make you ponder if you are in the right path for you, whatever it is that you define as more aware, more spiritual, more progressive. Putting your ego aside, when I read a question, I want you to be honest and take notice of the first thing that comes to mind. The first thing is usually the truth. Right after, we have an internal dialogue with our ego, which gives a different answer to protect itself and to protect who we think we are. Here are my questions and why I'm asking them. Question number 1. Do your actions align with your values when nobody is watching? So yes, we say one thing, but we act in another way. We are against eating animals, and yet sometimes we do eat animals. Or we're against pornography, and some of us still watch pornography. We're against drugs, but we consume drugs occasionally. Or we judge other people as well all the time. So when do your actions align with your values? How many mishaps do you have? Are you walking the walk or just talking the talk? Question number 2. How do you or your ego handles triggers? Criticism, your status, the people who are trying to control you, and what helps you release those triggers, those emotional triggers, is a very important question about action. Because inside your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, everybody is very, very different one from the other. And it's quite okay. Sometimes our thoughts are not in alignment with who we are. However, our actions in the world is the true meaning of who we are. And that's if we talk the talk, walk the walk, and do everything together. So, how do we deal with triggers on a day-to-day basis? Do we get annoyed? Do we get angry? Do we answer back? Do we try to fix and heal the world? Or do we understand that the world is perfect as it is, and we are perfect as we are? Question number 3. When decisions are hard, do you consult an inner guidance? And how do you know it's not fear or habit speaking from that inner guidance? So that question is really, how connected are we to first the inner child, second our higher guidance? Our higher guidance comes in when there's no monkey mind chatter. In other words, when we are more focused on the harmony of the moment, and when we know how to remove the filters of our ego and reality in order to really listen and be who we're supposed to be. And you can tell this about a person because you feel very comfortable next to them. You feel comfortable because they're comfortable with the person that they are. So they make you feel comfortable with the person that you are. So when you spend time with these type of people, who you might define as more spiritual or aware or awake, you're going to notice that they're fully present with you. Even though their mind later on can be busy with thoughts and actions, but in that moment, they're going to be fully present. Question number 4. How often do you experience oneness? And does it change your behavior afterwards? So this oneness, some people can say nirvana, some people can say in yoga or doing a meditation, or when I'm watching the sunset. This is the sunset for me right now. You see, maybe you can see it, maybe not. So how often do you experience that oneness? Does it come as a thought? Does it come as an action? Does it come as a tolerance? That you have a tolerance for bad news. Question number 5. Which daily practices keep you present? Things like breath work, meditation, prayer. I'm not saying you have to have one. But a lot of people have one because they believe, like Bashar likes to say, they believe they need one in order to be more spiritual, accepted, but you don't have to have one. Which daily practices do you keep? For example, I usually take walks in nature. I feel less thinking when I'm in nature, more happy when I'm in nature, especially if I see a little animal. especially if the weather is right, especially if I still have some sun. And the follow-up question is, what happens when you skip those things that keep you present? Are you angry? Do you lose your patience quicker? Do you need those things to define you? Or are they internal? Can you live without them? Question number 5. When in pain or uncertainty, do you move towards meaning and compassion, or do you move towards numbing your emotions and avoidance? And this question is very important. Why? Because there's 4 energetic bodies and they need to be balanced. Usually they're balanced when you feel good about yourself and when you consider yourself a person that is working on their self-awareness. And this question directly asks, are your emotions controlling you, or are you controlling your emotions? Now, this is a very big topic. Emotions, controlling, beliefs. It's pretty much how you react to reality. Do you act as a surprise? Do you get dramatic? And when I say drama, I always think about what the Buddha say about drama. You know, that I cannot help wake them all up, but I can help them minimize the human drama in their life. So think, how do you react? Do you numb your emotions? Do you avoid the topic? Or do you move towards meaning and compassion even when you are going to end up getting hurt? Question number 6. Where do you choose service over self-importance? And how do you replenish yourself energetically? I remember I was reading in this book, the book was called, I think, The Second Hill, because they said that the first hill that you climb on is the hill of success. It's more shallow, it's more materialistic, it's when you feel like you made it. But then you realize that you didn't really make it because you're still not happy. So you have whatever, money, wife, apartment, whatever it is that you declared that this is what you need to make it. And then comes the second hill, which is, of course, service. Service to others over service to self. So how do you plan on being in service to others? Does your job include service to others? The definition of your life success, is it with service to others? And does it take your energy away, or does it give you energy? Question number 7. How willing are you to question and update your beliefs based on your experience? In other words, how addicted are you to your ego? How right do you think you really are? Or how flexible are you? How much do you understand that your beliefs pass and change because you change? Question number 8. What is your relationship with gratitude and humility in ordinary moments? In other words, do you take the normalcy of your life, the day-to-day normal things, not the special things that trigger emotions that are either very high or very low, but do you feel gratitude towards them? Do you appreciate them? Think about your life 10 years ago, how it used to be, the people you used to hang out with, the amount of money that you used to make, and look at them today, and look at the changes that happened, the positive changes. So are you like a frog that has been put in very cold water and slowly heated, or do you still appreciate and are grateful for everything in your life? Question number 9. What kind of person are you becoming through your habits today? And is that aligned with what you call spiritual? So think about the type of person that you are, and think about the habits that you have, and pretty much compare them to the 15 values that I gave you in the beginning of the video. Do they align with your characteristics right now or not? Alan. So these are the questions that I want to ask, and these are the questions that are going to guide you in the right direction, I believe. They're mostly here to make you ponder. Ponder, am I in the right track? Do I need to change the definition of what it is that I want? Do I simply accept myself as I am? And with that acceptance, I'm letting go of expectations and of definitions, and I'm going to be like a leaf in the wind? Or do I set a course according to what I've learned and what I want to do right now? Namaste, my friends. Thank you very much for staying all the way to the end. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you're looking for a workshop, a breatharian initiation, check out my schedule on raymaor.com. Namaste.